Saturday night in Canberra, the Raiders host the Roosters in a game that sees the return of Sonny Bill Williams, in case you didn't know. Now, while the hype around SBW is well justified, it shouldn't be forgotten that these two clubs and these two coaches, they don't like each other very much.
Saturday, 7:30, a bell ringer. The first taste of fair income finals footy. Yeah, that's right. It must be September. The Raiders and the Roosters, headlined by the return of Sonny Bill Williams.
Sonny Bill Williams goes in.
This is not all about the chinning of cash registers, because an athlete cannot run with money in his pocket. He must run with hope in his heart and dreams in his head.
Now Tedesco puts the foot down. Oh, yes!
The way the game's best player and reigning Dally M medalist runs every week.
Played it again. He's too good.
The way these Clive Churchill medalists, both best on ground and grand finals,
Luke Keary.
continue to build their greatness. The halfbacks.
Oh, Flanagan.
Can't the young halfbacks play?
Dallas Williams.
And what about these 34-year-old twin three-quarters? They get younger by the day.
Josh. Oh, yes. Here's Benjamin Barton.
The remarkable Brett and Josh Morris. There's John Bateman, Josh Papali. How they never give up. Chasing Captain Cordner. And the antisocial Jared Waria-Hargreaves. Looks more pirate than prop. A who's who of rugby league character and just 80 minutes to sort it all out and sing the song. Saturday, 7:30, it's the Raiders and the Roosters, only on Fox League.
Yeah, that's right. Exclusive to Fox League on this coming Super Saturday. It's a grand final rematch between the Raiders and the Roosters. And listen, you've had a glint in your eye all day. I've noticed it because I think you enjoy it when there's two clubs that don't like each other very much. And would I be right in saying this game certainly fits that bill?
Ding, 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 Ben. These two do not like each other. You're spot on. And we saw it last year at the grand final parade where Ricky Stewart refused to shake Trent Robinson's hand. Ricky's obviously had a lot of success himself at the Chooks, now at the Raiders and trying to win them their first premiership in many years. I can't wait. The fact that Sonny Bill's back adds another element of X factor, but he's not going to have it all his own way because he'll have John Bateman and Josh Papali looking to leave their mark.
Absolutely. It would seem to me that the Roosters are getting better and stronger every week. Cordner back off the bench last week, into the starting side this week. Keary back into the starting side if he plays, but still, I mean, when Radley and Verrills went down at the start of the year, you think, maybe a little shaky. But what I'm seeing at the moment is pretty impressive.
Where they've benefited, Ben, is the season's gone long enough that the players have had their injuries and been able to come back. So they're coming back now. So obviously Verrills and Radley aren't coming back. They were season-ending injuries to their knees. But everybody else has had their time on the sideline and now coming back. So the Roosters aren't far away from being full strength again. And I tell you what, like, Trent Robinson's rushing them back into the side, getting a little bit of match fitness, a little bit of form going. They got a 4-week run into the finals. Their timing's perfect, and the Raiders are, I think, very similar. The Raiders are in a similar state of mind. They've lost, obviously, Hodgson, but the way that they've just adjusted their style a little bit, Georgie Williams is doing a little bit more, Jack White's taken on more responsibility. They're playing a slightly different game because it's not so dummy half-centric. But certainly the Raiders are starting to get a little bit of the, spring in their step the way they're handling things.
I think a lot of clubs say that, no matter who goes down with injury, you can fill the void and play well. And not a lot of clubs can actually do that. And that's what the Raiders did at the SCG in round 10 against the Roosters. Ricky played it perfectly leading into that game. It was all about we're hard done by with the travel and all of that, and took the attention off the fact that he was missing 6 of his stars. And then they came out and completely ambushed the Roosters in that game. And they've become a team now that can fill the holes and play better, even without their star players, which makes you a premiership-winning threat.
Makes them a quality side.
Listen, you haven't been called in to do anything this week. You organised the plane flight last grand final rematch, didn't you?
That's right.
Is Ricky irked by Robbo, though? Is it because he knows how it's run at the Roosters, right? Is there jealousy there at all?
No, there's not jealousy. I'll tell you what I reckon it stems back to is last year in the lead-up to the finals, it was about this time of year, regulation season game. And Ricky in the lead-up, Robbo was asked, what do you think of how Canberra are going at the moment? He said, we know what they do. They're predictable. We know what they're going to bring. And Ricky took that personally because we know what a competitor he is. And so as a result, that's why he wouldn't shake his hand when they're at the grand final parade last year. I love that sort of rivalry. I love that element of competitive edge and competition and will to win. And there is genuine dislike between these clubs, and that's certainly the coaches.
He gets genuine delight in shoving your head up your backside, Ricky. It really enjoys it.
And you know what? You take great delight in sharing with everybody. Ricky takes great delight in doing such things.
Oh, look.
But they are building nicely. What do you think a win over the Roosters would say about Canberra's premiership hopes?
I think it's irrelevant this weekend. I think whoever wins is obviously, we're all going to sit back and go, wow, look at what their premiership credentials. But whoever loses is not out. The big thing this week is, it goes a long way to deciding fourth spot.
Bang, that's it. That's why it's not irrelevant. Because whoever wins this game, they're on the same competition points on the ladder. So whoever wins this game gets that little edge, will have fourth position, and then it's their spot to lose from then on.
That's the key, too, because you've got to finish top four.
Two shots at the time.
Well, you've got to finish, given the history of the competition, you finish outside top four, you don't win the comp.
Now, we all know Sonny Bill Williams will not get it all his own way this week, but Josh Papali and John Bateman fell into step with their coach, Ricky Stewart, today, heaping a whole stack of praise on the Crosscode star.
Looking forward to Sonny being back, and hopefully it's not as good return for Sonny, but knowing Stick, Sonny probably won't be the focus. I think it's players around Sonny that make Sonny, obviously a good player. He still looks like he's 21. He's still got a good rig, and he's obviously a world-known, athlete around the world. So, pretty exciting to see him back.
It's exciting for the NRL itself, you know what I mean? He's a massive player in what he's done in the game, probably not just in rugby league, in rugby union and boxing as well, to be fair. So it's a massive thing for obviously everyone, but we're just looking at it as obviously it's someone else who we're going to be playing against this week, and he's a good player and we need to watch out for him. To be fair, as a kid, probably about 14, 15-year-old, I'm watching his highlights non-stop, to be fair, and stuff like that. So it's massive. Everyone knows who he is in the game, in the world of sport, and he's huge for the sport, mate. He's been one of the best players in the game. If I come up against him, obviously you need to make a tackle and you need to get stuck into each other. So that's probably what it's about. And if he ends up on my edge, then so be it.
Yeah, so complimentary there, John Bateman. I kind of felt like he was twitching a bit as those words were coming out of his mouth. How much praise he was heaping on Sonny Bill. Now, Lara, you've had a chat with some players that know John Bateman very well.
Yeah, and he is primed and ready to go. That's all a facade. Surely, I can imagine Ricky has mentioned Sonny Bill in the lead up to this game. Sam Burgess tells a great story about John Bateman coming and bursting onto the scene in Super League, and he came up against his idol and Super League legend Jamie Peacock, and he took and relished really taking a street fight to Jamie. Whenever they played, he loves nothing more than facing those challenges head on, no matter how big they are, and especially if they're big superstar players. So he'll want to have a crack, for sure, at Sonny Bill Williams. He said if they come head-to-head, but he'll find him.
Bateman obviously plays on the edge. Do you think when Sonny does come on, and Sonny will come on in the middle,
I know where you're going.
Is Bateman going to go looking for him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's remember, when Sonny came back to rugby league the first time with the Roosters, Burgess made a point, and there's no difference in mentality between Burgess and Bateman. They'll make a point of it. This is what it's about. Big blokes coming together and seeing who the big dog is. That's what the game's about.
Agreed. So Hoops, in that theme, tell me, where do you think Trent Robinson plans to use Sonny Bill?
Yeah, all the talk out of the Roosters, Ben, is that he's been training to play in the middle third of the field. We believe he'll start the game on the bench, and then he'll come on and play a role similar to what Victor Radley had been playing at the Roosters as a small forward in the middle. Sonny's obviously got brilliant sleight of hand, fantastic set of skills. So
that would get me very excited as a coach. Like Sonny Bill Williams, based on what we know he can deliver at his best, could be Victor Radley plus about 25 kilos.
I think there's an acknowledgement.
That's a perfect
description. I think there's an acknowledgement at the Roosters, though. He's not quite the whole runner he was first time around. So but the ball playing is going to be a big part. That's what he'll be playing in the middle with just plenty of blokes around him, plenty of options, and there'll be offload galore.
All right, the St George Illawarra Dragons